Hey friends, let's face it, most people are useless, and they're getting dumber by the second. Now, what does that mean for you? You will be that much better at your job interview. And plus, with these tips I'm about to give you, you will be able to ace anything and get the job that you are wanting. All you graduates out there, you're getting your feet wet with your first little job. Now, let me be your older brother giving you all the tips. If you're a real dude and you really don't have anybody else to help you, you don't have like some family business you could easily just get the job because you're related to them. Or I went to school with a few guys that, their dad or grandpa or somebody that they owned a firm or they owned some kind of business where they could just easily get a job. I just gotta say, good for them for being able to get a job right off the bat with not having to struggle and claw their way just to get a minimum wage job. And I will say, if that is your way to get your first job, your first opportunity in the real world, take it. Don't pass on it and say, oh, I don't want to go down the path of my dad or my grandpa. No, you take that opportunity and, build up something. And then, hey, if you want to get out of it, you have the ability to, because now you have some money and options to do so. So all the advice I'm going to give you in this video is from my own hard-earned experience over the past, 20 years since I've been working now, or more actually. This is just what I've learned, some tips, some tricks, and I will tell you my trials and tribulations. And if you feel demotivated or you just feel like you're kind of down on your luck trying to get the job, you're not alone, because I went through plenty of job interviews and completely just failed them, and some of them weren't from my doing. Now, first, we need to take a look at the things that you might be doing that is keeping you from getting that job you are desiring. So, the first thing is taking a boulder and just chucking it in front of your path. And this boulder is you expecting right off the bat to get into a job or a position at whatever place as a manager. Like you're holding out for that management position, so to speak. And you don't feel like you should just start at the bottom with the rest of the peasants. Maybe it's because your grandpa told you you're better than everybody else, or you just have somebody that just babied you and told you you're great at everything, so you don't think you should start at the bottom. But trust me, outside of your family, outside of your friends, no matter how good you think you are, anybody it will start at the bottom, and from starting at the bottom and proving yourself, and if you are as good as you think you are, you will rank up and get that coveted managerial position for $26,000 at your local Pizza Hut. Now, some other things that may be keeping you from getting that job. Now, bear in mind, yes, I'm just wearing a hat just because I like wearing it in my videos, but don't wear a hat on backwards. Come in, make sure your hair is combed and looking nice. Wear a shirt like this. I am wearing some shorts here, but just imagine that these shorts are like just some khakis or some nice dress slacks or something, okay? Make sure you walk in looking presentable at least. Like, don't go and think, oh, that's not my personality, though. That just isn't me to dress up and look nice, though. Like, am I gonna forfeit my independence and who I am as a person for some job? Yes, you are. But don't think just because you have to conform to what your job wants you to do that you're gonna lose your personality for some reason. Some people really think that, like, oh, if I have to work this job and put on this face and this fake facade, I'm going to lose a part of myself. No, just, it's a job. So going into the job interview, apart from dressing nice, what you should do as well is shower so you don't stink. Brush your teeth so your breath doesn't stink. Have a good smile. And all around, just have an airy, confident thing about you. Even if you're completely shy and you're at the lowest part of your life because you don't have a job and you don't have any money, if you're in that position, you're trying to get this job to better your life, I don't see why people expect you to come in thinking you're all hunky. Yeah, life is great. Yeah, I'm just coming in here to get this Target job for $9 an hour. Hey, everything is awesome. I mean, that can be the attitude for some like people that I don't know. Maybe they got a wealthy family and they're still in high school and they're just getting this job to I don't know, whatever. So yeah, put on some deodorant. I prefer Old Spice, but whatever you got to make yourself not stink up the office with some BO. Some people really do like the musk of a natural man, but if you're getting a job, you're not trying to get the pheromones going, so you're wanting to just get a job. So put on some deodorant. So now what do? You got the phone call to go into the interview. You brush your teeth, you brushed your hair, you took a shower, deodorant, dressed nice. Now you either get a ride from your parents up to the place you're getting interviewed, or you drive your beat up 1977 car up there and pray that it doesn't break down along the way. And you go in for the interview. And when you go in for the interview, you want to give a firm handshake. You go up, firm handshake. Don't squeeze it like you're trying to pop off their hand. You don't have to prove anything like, yeah, look how strong I am. Let me just give you how you should enter the room. Okay, so they're gonna be calling you in. So you open up the door here. Oh, thank you. Hi. Yeah, hi. I'm DJ. Nice to meet you. So there you go. Just have an air of confidence. You don't have to be overconfident. Like, yeah, hey, how's it going? I'm the right guy for the job. Now, managers and the people that are interviewing you have a huge spectrum of personalities. Some people may really like the reserved person, and some may really like the, hey, so good to meet you. Regardless of who's interviewing you, here are some tips that you should follow. Okay, so like I said, just imagine that these are dress pants, okay? When you're sitting down in the chair, don't slouch, don't sit like this. TikTok, oh, that's a funny one. Oh God, my brain, oh, it's melting. Oh God. You sit up straight, attentive. Maybe not too much like a statue, but just relax, just like this. Just have your hands on both your knees like this. Sit like this. The next thing you want to do is eye contact. Now, you don't want to look at them the entire time like this. Yes, I was born and raised here. Yes, that's blah, blah, blah. Rule of thumb is look in their eyes and make eye contact about 80% of the time. The other 20% you could kind of dart off while you're talking, but always go back. Obviously don't just like look at this the whole time, They're wanting somebody that will be assertive, aggressive, in a good way, not like an angry way, obviously. Just imagine you're doing the hiring. You're trying to pick the best person for the job, and you're having people that are just like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I could try. I'm kind of scared of a lot of people. I have like social anxiety. And if there's like more than 3 people around me, I shut down. So if your job is to interview people and pick the best people for the business that you're running, and if you hire people that are hesitant, they're kind of scared of everything, they're a little sheepish, social anxiety, they may not be a good fit for the job. Now, I'm not saying that if you're an introvert, you'll be like this. There are some people that just can't handle pressure or being around people. And sometimes a job is what will get those types of people out of their shells. So even if you're an introvert and your social anxiety is going off the rails, this will be the good thing or best thing to get you out of your shell and, actually get into the real world and get out of your room. Now, trust me, would I like to sit in a room all day and play video games? Yes, but, that's not how the world works. So as I mentioned video games, if you're the interviewer, who would you want to pick? You're going through and you're scrolling through characters on a game screen. You got to pick the best character for your next journey, your RPG. Do you want someone with a big energy bar and, quick reflexes? Or are you going to pick this other character that has low energy, slow to go on your journey? No. So, even if you are kind of slow or whatever, let them know that, hey, it may take me a second to learn something, but I will try and always make sure that I get the job done, and I'm willing to learn and improve on my weaknesses. Tell the person that's interviewing you things that they would want to hear and things that you can abide to and actually do. Now, when the interviewer asks you, what are some qualities about you that you think would be a good pick or fit for the job? Say, I'm on time, I'm a hard worker. Whatever happens at the job, I always strive to get it done. I work fast, fast-paced worker, something like that, they really like. The average stuff. And the whole where do you see yourself in 5 years question. I had this, I don't know, a few times at job interviews. A safe go-to is to say, hopefully in 5 years, I see myself still working at this place if I am given the opportunity and in a higher position from just working hard and doing what I do as a worker. It's not the perfect way to say it, but something along those lines. It'll show that your intention is to be loyal and dedicated to wherever you work. Now, this was something at the vocational school that I was taught when they did a seminar on job interviews. It's something like this, where at the end of the interview, the interviewer will ask you if you have any more questions. Now, what they told us to do was to say, when can I start? Because that's kind of like a humorous thing where, oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, yeah. And it will stand out in their heads that, oh, yeah, that guy said that thing. That was pretty funny. Yeah, that shows that he has initiative. Blah, blah. Now, you want to know what happened when I said that at my first job for the radio station? I wound up getting the job, but whenever I said that, the manager at the time just kind of laughed and he said, well, we had to go through a few more people and then we'll give you a call. And I was like, the joke went over your head, or you just saw right through that and didn't think it was fun. Oh. So don't do that. That was something I was taught from a school, and it was god awful. Now I want to get into the last and final thing, which is you go to a job interview and you fail it, but it's not your fault. It's actually the person interviewing you or the managers. It's them, not you. Now, one time I applied for a job at Target. It was 2005. And I went in for the interview, and it was just this big, huge room. And there was like one desk at the very far end, and there was a lady sitting there. And as soon as I walked in, she was sitting like this. And she just looked up and down at me with this kind of just disgusted look. I kind of had to do a double take and be like, is there something on me? Did I step in dog crap? Or, I was just like, no, I'm fine. So that entire interview, I sat down, firm handshake, eye contact, 80-20. Didn't matter. Right from the get-go, I knew she just didn't want nothing to do with me. So she sped up the interview so quickly that I just knew she wanted to get me out, because for some reason, I think it was maybe because I'm a smaller person. There's a lot of people like that. They will just give you one look and just think, he's not fit for the job. Now, I've gotten that from like other jobs too, where I will get hired and then I'll go to the job and everybody will be just looking at me like, what's this guy gonna do? He's so small. What is he gonna do? But then I show him up and I wind up becoming the hardest worker there. It's horrible that you always just kind of have to prove yourself when a lot of people just get it by default. They get respect by default. But, it's That's just how people are, and you just have to deal with it. So whatever kind of abnormality that you have, maybe, I don't know, you're too tall, maybe you got a huge head, big feet, whatever it is you have, you just got to deal with it. Some people just will not like how you look, and that's part of their screening process. But, are they ever going to say, oh, we didn't hire you because of this thing, the gaps in your teeth or whatever? No, they're not. They're just going to be like, you're just not the best fit for the job. We didn't think so. So we hired this person that is far less of a worker than you, but we just liked that she smiled the right way. Or we hired Tony because during our conversation, I found out Tony was the cousin of one of my best friends. And he ain't worth a crap either, but we hired him. That's how it is. And hey, joke's on them at the end of the day, because you will find a job that will actually respect you and like you. And you're almost interviewing the jobs themselves too. So just kind of keep that in mind, that you're not only being interviewed, but you're also interviewing them and seeing how they react to how you are. There was another time I got interviewed by Little Caesars. They told us a time. Like, it was a mass interviewing session. The Little Caesars wasn't like finished yet, so we all had to meet in the parking lot next door. And, there was about 10 cars that pulled up, and we're all just waiting. We're talking amongst each other, trying to get the same jobs or And we're just like, yeah, 10 o'clock. They said 10 o'clock. It's 10:30. Hot summer day. We're all just sweating. It just sucked. It was miserable. And this minivan pulls up, and these two Rosie O'Donnell type women, they looked like Rosie O'Donnell, came out, and they had like four of their kids come out the back, and then they were setting up this umbrella with this table, and then they got their big jugs, their drinks out, and they're sitting there drinking, and it almost felt like, all right, peasants, here's my jug of iced tea with the little umbrella in it. Tell me, what makes you think you'd be good enough to work for our establishment? Our cardboard pizza hot and readies. Do you think you're a good fit? Well, we'll determine that. So anyways, we all kind of got into a line, and one by one we walked up, and they took us through the motion, asking us the same questions. And when I went up there, I'm like sweating, and I'm just looking like crap because we've been, now in this hot parking lot for an hour sweating. Now, I hadn't had a Little Caesars pizza since I was like 6 or 7, and that's when they went out of business in town. And a Little Caesars, finally came back, and they came back with this hot and ready format with pizzas. So I never heard of it before. But anyways, the lady interviewing me, Rosie O'Donnell, she goes and asks me, say you're at the counter of, the Little Caesars, and a customer comes in and just asks about the pizzas. What are you gonna say? I'm like, oh, hi, yeah, welcome to Little Caesars. We've got some really great quality pizzas, and they are cheap. They're $5 a piece. The hot and readies, yeah, they're great, and there's great crazy bread as well. And, if you want to top it off with a 2-liter, that'll make a great meal. If you're wanting to, celebrate the Little League champions on their victory and get a whole bunch of pizzas for very little, you come to the right place. And so after I said that, there was like silence. And she's just looking at me with this like just, and I'm just like, yeah, it's also good for slumber parties, or just a quick meal for the family. And like, what am I gonna say? I drove my almost 30-year-old beat up car up here for this minimum wage job. What do you want me to do? You want me to do backflips for you too? Anyways, I didn't get that job, and they wound up hiring a bunch of potheads that couldn't make a pizza in less than 15, 20 minutes. There's one more job interview I remember going to that I failed, or I didn't necessarily fail, they failed, but it was at this grocery store, and me and 6 other people went into this conference room, right? And the manager, the interviewer came in, and they kind of just looked at us and just, asked us questions, and then we just kind of left. And I didn't get a call back from that or whatever. But then, like, the next couple weeks later, I went in there just to buy some stuff, and I saw the people that were in the interviewing room with me that had jobs, and, a few that I actually knew kind of offhand personally, I know called in sick once a week and just were horrible workers. But they got the job more than me. I mean, it's probably the same thing. Oh, she just had the right smile. I just knew right then and there. I had a great feeling about her. Yeah, 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 yeah. She's gonna take off once a week. She's gonna whine and complain, make our lives a living hell. But she had a great smile in the interviewing process, and she just seemed so bubbly. She was just so fun. She made me feel good. Instead of me going, "Hi, sir. Yes, I will work hard. I will show up early. Anything. You want me to work overtime? That's extra money for me. It benefits both of us. Yes, I will do it." Instead of, I don't feel too good. I was partying all night and I'm gonna call in 5 minutes before my shift because I deserve it. Anyways, I deserve the freedom. Well, like I said, I hope most of you have a somebody in your family that will hook you up with a job so you don't have to go through that hell. But back then, it was far harder to get a job. Now, like I'm literally seeing on McDonald's signs, $500 sign-on bonus to work at like that's insane. Like the early 2000s, trying to get a job was like very, very just claw, just doing anything you can to get any kind of job. It's just nuts what 20 years and some change will do. But yeah, right now, I would definitely say if you're a young person out there and you're just wanting to make that money, there's so many jobs hiring now. You won't have any problem, especially with these tips I've given you. I'm just looking out for you. I'm just trying to be that older brother guy. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps. That's what I'm trying to do. Give back from the little bit of experience I've had in my life and, hopefully better the world somewhat. Yeah. All right. Thanks, DJ Glowing Ice. I will see you later.